This is another day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Hope y'all woke up on the right side of the bed. You know, I hope you start your day off and I hope you got a lot of rest because it's another day for you to do your best. This is another day for you to get up and create your day. Now, you must first start with the man and the woman in the mirror. And when you start with the man and the woman in the mirror, tell God thank you. And look back over your life and recognize all the times that God has been there for you. Recognize all the times that you was able to walk. You was able to talk. You was able to see past the illusions. You was able to look past the doubts, the confusion. You was able to get up and move past the traps that were set for you. That's a lot to be thankful for. And excuse me, y'all. But you must recognize that you are walking a narrow path that's less traveled. Not everybody's able to walk that path. Not everybody's able to keep a positive mindset and a rich mentality. See, it's all about character. Though they slay me, yet should I trust them. So you might be getting yourself up. You may be getting yourself ready to go to work or start your workout, or maybe you um morning G6, maybe maybe you're about to brush your teeth or whatever. But I want you to be still. I want you to think over your life and think about all the good times and all the bad times. But most important, I want you to think about the good times. Think about the times when God showed up when no one else did. Think about the times where you didn't know how you was going to make it. You didn't know how you was going to get through the day. Now I want you to look at it and see how God done it before and God is able to do it again. So that should build your faith, and that should build your confidence within the Most High God and within yourself. Don't allow nobody to stop what God is building on the inside of you. Now, people going to be negative. You're going to have your dream assassins. You're going to have those to be an enemy of your progress. But you have to keep going. You might get knocked down. You may fall down. But make sure you get back up. Make sure you get back up and you tell God thank you. Because it hasn't been easy when you're walking the road less traveled and you got people on your left, people on the right, constantly coming up against you. It hasn't been easy when you got people hating you without a cause, you know, but it all has been worth it. Because if you never went through the pain and suffering, you will never know how much value you have. So that's why it's important that we forgive, let go, and let God, because the devil starts when we was young in our childhood. But then when God chose you, ain't nothing can stop you, because what God got for you, no one can take that away from you, regardless of how people feel, regardless of what they say they're gonna do to you. It's just not gonna work. It's just not going to work. So this is another day that the Lord has made. And don't think about what happened yesterday. You know, Grand Rising, Laura, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Don't think about what happened yesterday. You know, because this is another day. This is a new day that you can perfect yourself. And it's progression, not perfection. You know what I'm saying? Don't start something you can't finish. And don't sign up for something that you don't want to do. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop believing. It ain't all about money, but sometimes you need money to make money. Sometimes you need money to get your vision started or get your goals started. But then don't stop dreaming. If you're working on a job, be the best on that job. If you clean up in the neighborhood, be the best to clean up in that neighborhood. Whatever you do, be your best at it. It's not, don't label yourself by a title. You may be a cook, or you may be um, somebody to clean, somebody to serve people. Be your best at it. Don't do it for the money. Don't do it for the recognition. Do it to build your character. That's why a lot of times, people may come up against you and do things to you to provoke a reaction, but then you hold yourself together. You don't allow, you don't allow people to get you out of character. You know, you use it to better yourself. You use it to make yourself better. So, you know, um, stay focused on your goals. You may have a phone call or you may have a certain distraction to try to stop you. You may didn't get no much. I mean, you you may have not gotten much sleep, but then if you take advantage of the time that you have, which is 24 hours, 7 days a week, if you be consistent on doing what it is that you want to do with your time, then you will start to see it will become easy because it's all about repetition or repetition. It's all about patterns. You have to renew your mind. I think it takes 30 days to renew your mind, to start a new cycle, to unlearn and relearn. But it's not about the money. You have to keep your trust in God and you have to ask for it. Ask and you shall receive. Seek, you shall find. Knock and the door will be open. You have not because you ask not. You know what I mean? So um, it's very important to wake up clothed in your right mind. It's very important to wake up and show gratitude. Be thankful if you got you got dogs or cats and maybe they defecated on the counter or defecated. You know what I'm saying? Don't get tired of doing what's right. Some things are just fundamental. Some things just are self-explanatory. Some things has its certain functions. You know, that's just what it does. That's all it can do. It's limited. But you're not limited. You can do all things. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. Just don't quit. Don't give up. Continue to study and show yourself approved. Continue to respect the laws of the land. Continue to show gratitude to those that God may put in your path. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You don't want to get so high-minded or high-minded that you can't see straight. that you can't help anybody. You don't want to get so stiff and so cold-hearted that you can't see the bigger picture of your mistakes. That's your greatest success comes from your failures. If you scared to fail, you scared to make a mistake, then you living in fear. God did not give us a spirit of fear, but a sound mind. You know, you have to work on yourself. You have to continue to go within yourself. Sometimes you're gonna have to talk to yourself. Be your own best friend because you can be your own worst enemy. All you got to do is say no. All you got to do is say yes. If something don't that if it's something that you don't agree with, say no. Don't be a people pleaser. Don't be a yes woman, don't be a yes man. It's okay to have a good heart, but don't self-abandon yourself trying to help somebody else cuz you first got to help yourself. You help yourself, you can help somebody else. If you check yourself, you can check somebody else. But I didn't want to be on here too long. Well, sometimes I am, but over here I like to motivate, encourage, uplift, and bring forward testimony. And you know, hopefully, I hope when you come here that you leave better than you came. I don't want no one coming to this live or to this channel, leaving at the same. I want to leave you with something. I don't want to just waste your time and, you know, speaking a whole bunch of words with hot air. That's not my intent. My intent to remind you of who you are, to remind you that you can do all things you put your mind to. You can do all things because God said high and look low, you know. And it's all about how you treat people. It's not about different backgrounds, different religions. It's all about love. But sometimes you're gonna have to uh, let it be known if somebody is doing something to you. You just can't always turn the other cheek and be patient. Sometimes you're gonna have to let people know, or you're gonna have to speak up before you uh, fold under pressure, or before you act off of impulse. So this ain't. I believe in peace, love, and light. But if you got somebody that's constantly bruising your head or running your head against the stone, then you're gonna have to speak up and let your voice be heard. You know what I mean? So don't let people play with you. Don't let people play on your top and push your cap back. Respect yourself, check yourself, and help yourself. You want to get your lessons outside of school, get rid of the drugs. Stay away from the in crowd. Get close to God. I'll catch y'all on the next one.